Let's see here. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give me 1 second here. Okay. Try to make sure got everything set up on here. And y'all, 1 second here. Get this thing to connect on here. And then y'all will be able. Now y'all forgive me on here. Ain't had the thing set up the right way. Had to turn my phone off the Wi-Fi. And popping in, had my coaching schedule open up today. Got a little mixed up on the time, I think. So that opened up for me, gave me a little bit of time, and got one of my agents at the 1322 agency. Gonna run my insurance call right there. So y'all remember, if you do not have life insurance, click the link in the description. I started the 1322 agency, which is based on Proverbs 13:22, which says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Leaves an inheritance to his children's children. So as you know, life insurance, not the term policies, but the IULs has been a vehicle for the wealthy to build wealth and be able to pass down wealth in addition to their other avenues. So if you don't have life insurance, especially if you have children, make sure you click the link in the description, get a free consult, go through your financial needs analysis. We have the free Wealth Wednesdays club, but just haven't been working out on Wednesdays, so I might have to change the day of the week one day, but something been coming up every week. And this week, unfortunately, got to go, not unfortunately, fortunately, get to go see our oldest son at school, and may have to leave tomorrow, but we're going to still decide, see if we're going to go tomorrow, Thursday morning. But y'all, the Wealth Wednesdays is free. You'll see that on TonyGaskelsAcademy.com. And like I told you, outside of my coaching sessions, I'm going to be popping in on here, because the boys program, although it's still going on, it's not as hectic for me right now, being that they back in school and I'm not having to plan tournaments and all of that right there. So it's been a little more free time. And then with my oldest son being in school, I don't have to get up and leave to go home and go to practice. So I get to stay at the office while my wife take our youngest son to practice. And she love and enjoy that, going to practice. So that's been an interesting thing, because normally as dads, it'd be the dad that be the most invested in the boys' sports, and the mom kind of play the background. Well, my wife likes sports more than me. We both was college athletes, but she actually is a bigger sports fan than me. So I play the background and let her kind of, do all the cool, fun stuff when she want to do it. And then I do some of the other stuff. We've been tag teaming. Like I had to go to Germany with my son for soccer, had to go to England for soccer. So she'll let me do that. But with Tatum, she showed me on top of that. But I wanted to pop on here. I was watching Y'all President. Okay, that's great, Elena. Or Alana, forgive me if I'm saying your name wrong. But yeah, we got a lot of options at the 1322 agency. Work with a lot of carriers. Get y'all right. So click the link in the description. Y'all get your free consult, see what you need. So I was watching y'all president on what's it called, and I came to realize, boy, my daddy told me, he said, son, don't speak on that politics. Because people get nasty about their politics. It is crazy to me. Like I don't think I could care enough about somebody else business and life to be arguing in the comments about another adult. Like, if you're not talking about my wife or my kids, you or like my mama or something, like my mama, my daddy, like, you'll think Ivanka Trump be in my comments. I mean, I mentioned Trump one sentence out of an hour-long video, and it be people in the comments defending Trump, talking about he they savior. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Somebody say they don't care. They don't care that Trump was close friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Say they don't care. Say they don't mind nothing about him being friend with the pedophile. I say, wow, boy, this is, talk about idolatry. And I'm like, man. And so praying for y'all in Chicago and all of that, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think the Chicago gangs and all that want no smoke with no National Guard, because I think the thing about it is what people is misconstruing about violence is that the violence is targeted. It is young, immature, grown boys and boys getting into it with each other over disrespect and then going and shooting each other instead of fighting. And I think what Trump and them don't understand is the National Guard is not going to stop that violence, because them shootings are planned, they targeted. You don't know somebody going to shoot. They riding in a Nissan Sentra down the street, and then the next thing you know, a switch come out and they shoot up whoever's standing on the sidewalk, or shoot up a house, or pull up on the side of somebody. It's like the National Guard gonna be in one area, and they still gonna go to where they got to go, which is a different area, the gangs, and do they shooting, and then take on off and go on right on back home. It's like they not afraid to kill, they not afraid to die. The only thing they afraid to do is go to prison. That, which is the craziest thing to me. And I need to volunteer to go to prison one time so I could see what it's like. I'm like, why do these men turn into like the scariest thing in the world when it's time to go to prison? I'm like, I don't understand it. I do not understand it. I'm like, I need to go in there and see what that's like. Y'all forgive me. One second, mama writing me. And so that's the thing. It just like, it really don't make any sense to me what they finna try to do. Like, you're not finna go do nothing but incite riots, because it's not like the crime is a bunch of people walking down the street and just shooting people. It's like everything is intentional, like everything is organized. Like they literally going, hey, this dude over here stole my chain in the club last week. I had my chain on, he snatched my chain off. Let's go over there, run down on him, and take his life. Or this dude slapped my sister, grabbed my sister booty. R-word my sister. R-word my mama. Let's go take his life. This dude broke in our trap house, stole all our dope. Let's go take his life. It's like, it's not like they going and saying, hey, here go this old lady, let's just take her life. And it's a crazy thing what they even, it's like, that don't even make no sense to send National Guard in there. Like, take that money you finna spend on the National Guard, and that's why you know they don't have no real black people in there talking to them and consulting them to let them know how street violence work. That's the craziest thing. It must be all white people in there, or it's black guys who ain't never been nowhere near no street violence. It's like, that is the dumbest thing in the world. When they literally, because if they send National Guard, they finna cost them people, they finna spend millions of dollars. You mess around and spread the millions out amongst the citizens of Chicago, they might stop committing violence. Because now they like, hey, boy, I'm living good. Boy, I'm out here. Boy, I'm moving out the neighborhood. It's like they might disperse. You give them enough money, they might leave. They might go somewhere else. Like, hey, boy, we got enough money to move to Indiana or wherever it is. And so it's like that's crazy to see that. But then just to see how crazy people get with that politics. And so I'm going to tell y'all something about that. And I'm going to tell y'all something about that with this here politics. Focus on the Lord. Focus on the Lord. Focus on the Lord. Like, don't get caught up in the politics. Like, you got to focus on Jesus. And living your purpose, doing what he tell you to do. And you got to sit and you got to talk to the Lord, and you got to say, okay, Lord, what is going to make somebody's life better through you shining through me? How can I get somebody's life to be better? How can I help somebody that one day they're going to understand that it was you? That it was you that used me. If you can't do nothing else, the Lord might say, hey, you ain't got no money. Go sweep around your neighbor front door. Go pluck their weeds. If you live in an apartment. If they live in a house, go pluck their weeds. Pluck their weeds for them. You got a lawn mower, go mow their lawn. Go ask, can you mow their lawn? Like, focus on, in these times of a recession and all that, focus on the love of Christ and walking in love and being a blessing. And what the Lord is talking to me about is sowing seed on good ground. A lot of times we help people who don't want help, who don't appreciate help, who don't have any type of gratitude, and you could do any and everything for them, and it will not change their life. And that's when we sowing seed on bad ground. But when you know folks will appreciate it and they need it, and they'll appreciate it so much that they don't even ask. They don't even think to ask. They'll just appreciate it. That's when you know what you got to focus on. And so with that right there, y'all be thinking about that in this economy and what we got going on. And speaking of, I seen next thing on my docket, there's been a lot of talk about Tabitha Brown and her video talking to her audience, which people are saying she talking to black women. I didn't pick up that part of it. I didn't hear what she said, black woman. And I mean, I took it personal. I about to went and got me a job. I'm about to say, well, you know what? This entrepreneurship is kicking my behind. I'm about to go get a job. I'm about to try to enroll back in school too, finish my degree. And then I'm going to get me a job on top of this entrepreneurship. So I'm taking the advice. But you know what I sensed in there in her video, because it was different than her other videos. I sensed a little tinge of frustration. And I don't know if it was any frustration, but it just was a little tinge of frustration, because that's how we get sometimes as content creators. Sometimes you'll see me get on here and I might have to get on somebody. I might have to go on, give them a piece of my mind. So it was just a little tinge of, it sounded a little demotivational. And I think that's what people got up in arms about. Because when people know you for one thing, it's hard for you to say something else. It's hard for you to do something else. And so it sounded demotivational, but people just so known for her to be so uplifting and so motivational, to where they took a little bit of real talk and took offense to it. But then I think the thing about it is, what we don't think about is, actually we talking about Tabitha Brown video that I keep seeing come across my timeline. What we don't think about is when somebody is really busting their butt and they fighting hard in entrepreneurship to be successful, and they want to prove it to themselves, they want to prove it to their family who wouldn't support them, they want to prove it to their job who told them that your business obviously ain't doing good since you still working here, and then they left that job. They want to prove it to them. I think that's the people that took it wrong. I think that's the people that took it personal. But what it says to me though is for her to do a different type of message that's out of her character, or her normal type of message, which was not a bad message, but for people to take offense to it, what you got to realize is that's a sign of the times. When people is ready to get offended, that's a sign of the times. When they take somebody who is known for positivity and try to turn her on her head, to where she had to come back and do another video, because we follow each other on Instagram, and I don't know how I know Tabitha or where she followed me at, but she followed me, and then I just was going through my following one day and seen she followed me. I followed her back. And then one time one of my colleagues was doing an event with a financial company in California and wanted a celebrity to interview, and the celebrity he tried to get couldn't do it. And so I reached out to Tabitha Brown, and she did it. So and she did it. She did it for free, and I respect her for that. I mean, cause she didn't have to do that, and she went. It was in California, so it wasn't too far from her. I think she's in LA, but for her to do that for free, to my knowledge, it was free and on a whim. And she wasn't doing it. She was doing it because I asked her, but she wasn't doing it for me. It was a colleague of mine who interviewed her at an event that I wasn't even at and had nothing to do with. And so that really spoke to me about her character. And it showed you it's crazy how the internet work. How the internet will take somebody who mean no harm and try to make them out to be the villain, instead of seeking to understand, then be understood. Now, when I heard it, I said, ooh, now that sounds a little different than the video will be sounding. Cause I took it personal because I'm struggling in entrepreneurship. So, and I think that's what happened. Right now, we in a time to where every entrepreneur need to get a job. Every entrepreneur need to get a job. So if y'all was wondering how in the world people took that the wrong way, it's because she was talking to every entrepreneur. There's not an entrepreneur who got it easy right now. Unless you founded Indeed.com or MonsterJobs.com, you struggling. You feeling it. Unless you founded a staffing agency that's doing temp work, you feeling it out here in these streets. And so that's how they tried to turn Tabitha on her head. But what I want you to realize too is the sign of the times. When it show you where good will be seen as bad, positive will be seen as negative, and good people with a good heart will be people try to turn them people into somebody who negative and somebody who is taking shots and slighting people. And then also what you see is the jealousy. Because everything is not for everybody. So really who she was talking to is she was really talking to them people who they entrepreneurs out of ego, not out of necessity. They entrepreneurs to stun on people, but they don't know how to do business. And they keep borrowing, and they borrowing from all the friends and family, but then they be in the club popping bottles and talking about I own this boutique, I own such and such.com, but borrowing from their mama, borrowing from their daddy, borrowing from their brother, borrowing from their sister, and squandering the money. They squandering the money, they messing around, they not doing what they supposed to do, and then they taking and keep talking about they're entrepreneur, but keep borrowing. That what she said, you robbing Peter to pay Paul. And that's what she meant by that. She's saying, you robbing Peter to pay Paul. And meaning you keep borrowing, but you're not executing. You're not taking and you're not budgeting your money. You're not doing the right thing with your money. And so instead of seeking to understand, she wasn't talking to just struggling entrepreneurs who doing entrepreneurship honestly. She talking to the people who is squandering the opportunity, squandering the blessing, misusing their friends and family money, and not executing, like making it look good with all the hype. And that's the thing, what y'all don't understand. So really, it kind of, I'm gonna tell you now, it really was also a lot of people who got up in arms. They were mad, but really it could have also applied to some of the high level entrepreneurs who done had franchises, who got national brands and getting money from the banks and investors and squandering the money. And business is failing because of it, because they misspending the money. It could have applied to some of those folks, but people took it as if and tried to make it like she's talking to all of the 300,000 black women who got fired from corporate America. And it's like, how and why would she be talking to them when that just happened this year? When she talking about somebody who been in that entrepreneurship forever and keep robbing Peter to pay Paul and not executing. It's like she's not talking to somebody who an entrepreneur by necessity. But here's the thing, is when you keep your nose clean and you look like you going from blessing to blessing. And when you turn your pain into praise, and when can't nobody see you sweat, even if you got to wear a towel around your neck, people start to get jealous. And so what Tabitha Brown going through right now with that about that video, I relate to that, because people have done that to me. When they try to take and make you out to be a bad person because of something that you said, when they know if they would have sought to understand, they would have been able to decipher exactly what you was talking about and exactly who you was talking to. But they'll try to take and misapply it and put it on this, put it on that, and make you out to be a bad person, because all they get to see is your wins. They don't realize that she show up on her bad days too. She show up on her period too. She show up if she going through too. They don't realize that she raising a daughter, and her daughter could be at odds some days. Her and her husband could be at odds some days, and she show up with that soft-spoken motivational video. People don't realize that. And so because it looked like this person never lose anymore, and we didn't get to bask and enjoy when she was losing, when she was a Uber driver, a DoorDasher, we ain't get to bask in that and laugh and enjoy that failure. All we get to see is Cartier on the wrist that costs all these tens of thousands, and all we get to see is the Gucci and the Louis and all the recipes and all this in Target. And then when that DEI hit that Target, that was another thing that blowed up. And so when you see that right there, that be that jealousy. It be jealousy, honestly. And that's why I have to check my heart, and I have to always make sure and say, hey, now make sure you ain't disagreeing with somebody because you jealous of their position. Make sure you ain't disagreeing now. Make sure you standing on business now, and it's something about something real. I mean, that's what you got to realize. Off topic, I work at soccer games, VIP area. My town hosted some UEFA National League games. They gave instructions to remove my cross chain just to prepare your son. Was on my heart to share your way. Blessings. Hey, God bless you. God bless you. Yeah, you over there in England. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because you're a worker. So they have in the States, we call that separation of church and state, to where you can't bring religion into business. So like when I go speak at a state university, I can't talk about Jesus. Why is corporate America firing so many people? Is this because of Trump's administration? Well, the Doge, they fired a lot of government workers because there was a lot of organizations being funded by the government. And then the other firings is due to the economy. And so what we living in right now, y'all, this is what we living in, what they call the chickens came home to roost. So when all of the money was flowing, it was a lot of money flowing because of the pandemic. It was a lot of stimulus checks. I have people who are in an industry that's government funded, and like they, you know the elderly homes and stuff like that. The elderly homes, the assisted living, group homes, all of those type of industries, the government started printing money. And every industry that is government funded was able to get millions on top of millions on top of millions, hundreds of millions. Some of the industries that's government funded probably broke into the billions across the United States. And so what happens is that influx of money, it inflates people's pockets. So these business owners was then able to go and buy a new house, a new car, 2 new cars. The people who was getting money from the government, if you had an LLC, you could get money from the government. And they had it set up to where it was just a stroke of a few keys. So what happened is everybody who knew how to go get money, everybody who had W-2 employees, everybody who had a LLC or could start a LLC or fake like they had a LLC was able to go get tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. Some people got millions. Then they elevated their lifestyle. Guess what? They couldn't afford those things before they got that influx of cash. So when the influx of cash ran out, now the PPP loans, the EIDL loans, and all of that, when that money ran out, they got the money, they got the new house, they got the new car, and they used the rest of the money to subsidize, to supplement their normal income that they was already making. Well, that money that they got, it ran out. And now they got more expenses, but got the same income they had before they added those expenses. So that's why car repossessions are up like 60%. And that's why so many companies are firing, because in the pandemic, all the companies, all the businesses went up. The businesses went up because more people had more money to spend. So the companies took and hired a bunch of new people. They couldn't even get enough people. So they hired all these new people. And then guess what? People could no longer spend with them the same. So now they got to fire the people they hadn't hired, or the people they already had on that they were paying and taking care of. Guess what happened? People money get tight. So instead of having the same amount of business, now they got even less business, because now more people have lost their job. And now where people were spending with them, now they're not doing any extra. So it's like, if you didn't have financial literacy, which most people don't, like if you're not really big on saving and all that, which most people aren't, then, and we knocked Dave Ramsey, but I bet you the Dave Ramsey people had their nest egg. Now that little $1,000 gone. Now if you kept building that nest egg, okay, but even with that, that's soon gonna be gone too. So if you can't go out and make new money, new income, savings only lasts for so long. And then you got to get it out the mud, and you got to figure out how to earn. And it's changing today. So people just ain't got it. I seen a video of a young lady at AT&T, and she was filming and say, "Oh, you look, all us, we all lost our jobs. So it's just the only people in here is the black people who need their hours." There's one white girl back there. Y'all seen that it was on my, just scrolling on the shorts or something like that. So she said that AT&T done fired them to replace them with AI. To my A&I. With AI, because that AI so complex now. They AI put everybody out of business. Do you know they got an AI that ghostwrite a book? To where, yes, the stuff come from a corroboration of stuff that's already been published, so you got to be careful with it and make sure you go through. But they got an AI that ghostwrite. You know how much I charge for ghostwriting? I charge $10,000. If somebody want to get a book ghostwritten, the AI software is like $200 for the year. It's like $200 or $300. So if somebody don't care about using a mashup of previously published words that AI has mashed together, then they could put me out of business and go get the AI ghostwriting software. There's now a AI software for everything you can imagine. It's an AI t-shirt design software. It's an AI jewelry design. It's an AI interior design. It's an AI landscape design. It's an AI everything you can imagine. It's an AI for it. AI do it, which is the scariest thing in the world, because AI already doing so much, and we literally in the infancy of AI. AI is still on breast milk right now. AI is on breast milk right now. Can you imagine when AI is an 18-year-old getting ready to go to college? You know your child started to try you at 13. AI is on breast milk right now. When AI is like a 13-year-old, oh man, we finna be getting slapped. AI finna be coming out the computer. They finna AI finna be able to shock us through our laptop while we typing. If we say something it don't like, AI gonna make the whole computer act up. I'm trying to tell you, they're gonna start to create men and women from AI. They're gonna start to create so much, and it's a lot of people. It's a lot of y'all who working right now that within 5 years, they're gonna have an AI that could do your job. So if you don't start to tap into your gift, a lady came on in my all access membership, and she told me, Tony, because I can't afford one-on-one sessions with you or other coaches, I have learned how to, she say, I take your video and I upload your video, I post your video into the AI and ask the AI, what would Tony say to me about this situation? Now, AI probably lying and putting words in my mouth, but what it tell you ain't gonna be too far off. It ain't gonna be too far off. And so guess what? Now therapists using AI because it know the treatment plans. Life coaches using AI because it know how to answer any question you ask it. So it's literally people that AI is their consultant, their assistant, their CEO, their mentor, their life coach, their therapist. AI do a lot of stuff. It's about to take over. It's already taken over, but we ain't even seen the beginning of it. And the thing about us is a lot of times we don't know how to create the stuff. We don't know how to code the stuff. That's why I try to tell y'all, and I wish I would have started younger with my sons, but they building this stuff right under our noses. If you got a child that's like 5 or 6, then you need to get them into coding. And when you riding down your street, if you live in a normal city, now if you live in the middle of nowhere, you might not have it, but you might could start it. They got these in the plazas, they got these places called Code Ninjas and different stuff like that. Google coding near me, coding center near me, and they got these places. Now they teach different stuff like how to code a video game, they got different programs, but you go in there and you get on the computer. It's like the learning centers that I want to start, and I'm gonna start it once I raise the funds through the foundation. And we actually gonna have one now. We're not finna be up here like Buddy with that school with just the building. I'm gonna start small. We're gonna get a small building just like the size of mine, but in a area that was close to neighborhoods, and we're gonna have them computers in there with the headphones, and it's gonna be through the foundation, and y'all will be able to sign your kids up and bring them in there. We'll have food and drink, but you got to sit down, put the headphone on, get on the computer, and learn how to write code, learn how to do software. Learn how to do whatever. If you coding a video game, you coding a website, you coding an app, and you do that 30 minutes a day. hour a day. And then your session up, mama got to come get you because somebody else coming in to get that seat now. And then we finna teach the whole hood how to code. And what I want you to do is I want you to beat me to it. Because in the middle of the hood that you know about, they got a community center. They don't use the community center, nothing in there. It's just the people sitting in there getting a check from the government to sit in there and do nothing. Because don't nobody use the community center. Or they go in there, the kids go in there and play pool or ping pong. Go in there and say, can I use this room right here? And then get you some donations to get some computers and then get the coding software from Code Ninjas or whoever. And then you go and you pass out flyers to the doors in the hood and you say, I got a computer class. They might not know what you're talking about. Say, I got a coding class. They might not know what you're talking about. Say, I got a computer class. We teaching kids how to use the computer. You walk them up to the community center, drive them up there. They get 1 hour. These the sessions. In the summer, we running it all day. We running it all day. The kids get 1 hour. Then after that, now go on to the park. Go on to the park. Go on somewhere now. You come back later if we got an open session, get back on the computer. And get you something to drink. Get somebody here Lemon Perfect. Finna do a deal with Lemon Perfect. Lemon Perfect, send me a check. Somebody get me the contact for Lemon Perfect. Because that's what they gonna provide our drinks. No sugar, organic lemon water, original. They gonna provide our drinks for the kids. And see, this what I want you to do. And see, this is what I want you to understand about mobilization. See, Martin Luther King was trying to do this, but then he was going to having them orgies. And he was cheating on his wife. That's why the Lord called me. Because he say, listen, you ain't cheating on your wife. You're not getting into these orgies. No disrespect to MLK Jr., but we not with the debauchery that we listening to on these tapes. MLK. It's like, come on now. Like, Lord, give me the strength. Lord, give me the strength to stay on the straight and narrow. And see, this is what I try to tell people. Is we need mobilization, but I want you to understand about position and platform. You know, let me tell you this. Martin Luther King not smarter than me. He not a better speaker than me. He younger than me when he did what he did. But you know why they put him in position? And you know why they put him up that big? And why they let him be that big for that long? Because they was listening to what he doing in the hotel room. So they already knew what they was gonna do. That's why they didn't give that same level of access to Malcolm X. Because they say Malcolm X was a saint compared to MLK. They say Malcolm was faithful to his wife. But see, they was more fearful of a black man who have real integrity and character behind closed doors. And see, we can't speak on that because it's seen as hate and disrespect. But the truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. And so that's why I try to get people to understand, like, they don't, if they fear you, they're not going to give you a podcast deal. The podcast deals that's being handed out to black men come from white men. They're not giving it to black men who are married, faithful, Christian, don't curse, don't get drunk, don't smoke weed or smoke nothing. They're not giving it to those black men. They ain't giving it to us. They giving it to black men that they see as dummies, that they see as controllable, that they see as ineffective on the grand scheme of things. And they'll let one or two slip through, and then they're going to try to get them canceled as soon as possible. Because they don't want mobilization. They don't want somebody with sense to be able to talk to the masses, because it will upend, it'll disrupt what's going on. Because in order for the rich to remain rich, they need the poor to remain poor. So if they put somebody who was poor and became rich on a $10 million podcast contract that's going to reach tens of millions of poor people, and those people gave strategies to increase and to build, then it'll upend everything, because they need certain people on welfare. They need certain people to be controlled by consumerism. They need certain people in poverty and in trauma and in travesty and tragedy, because those people are going to stimulate the economy and give the economy all of their check and then all of their credit that they have access to. And then all of the money that they could get, they're going to give it right back to the economy out of pain. They're not going to put it into stocks. They're not going to put it into real estate. They know that. And then when they go into them spaces, they do fraud. They do stock market fraud, because they'll raise money from people and say, I'm investing your money into these stocks, or I'm day trading with your money, and they go and just buy mansions and Lamborghinis that the FBI gonna come get the seize in 5-10 years. Or they go to real estate and they'll get all of this money, and it'll be a scam. And they'll raise all this money and it'll be a scam. And you see what, and this is the thing. They got the black guy, we got the black guy, the one that we know about, it turned out to be a scam with the Jay Morrison situation. The other one is a Hispanic, Caesar Pina, turned out to be a scam. The other one, another black guy, the big Greg Parker or something like that, they say it was a scam. But then here you have Grant Cardone, done raised hundreds of millions, bought all kind of real estate. It done literally just fundraising. Him being a salesman and being a fundraiser has made him now about a billionaire off other people's money. But they ain't found no scam. If he running one, he ain't been caught yet. And so you got the white man with a real estate investment trust, a REIT, and they can't find the scam. Then you got the black man with the REIT, Jay Morrison, and they find the scam. And now they scam. Now they ain't put him in prison or nothing like that yet, but that don't mean it ain't coming. But then guess what that does? It builds distrust amongst people of color, because you got Caesar Pina who did the scam and you got Jay Morrison who did the scam. So then what happens is that upends the opportunity for honest people to do a real estate investment trust. There's other ones out there, but nobody know about them. Like nobody, you see them on one of them back end pages that say, oh, invest in these other blight whatevers. And nobody know about them. It's not on a grand scale like that. But the devil always give a voice and numbers and access to people who he knows is gonna fumble the bag and mislead people. And so on those lives, you're gonna see you're gonna see 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 people. On a live with honest men and women, you're gonna see 300 people. Because you got to realize the devil run the airwaves. When God approached the devil, in the Bible, like in the book of Job, he say, what you doing? And the devil said, I'm just going to and fro, just walking around, looking for who I could mess with. God say, have you considered my faithful servant Job? Lord, Why you got that man messing with me right now? Lord, please deliver me. Lord, I need double for my trouble. Lord, come on now. Lord, don't do me like that. But that's how it happened. And so the better you are, the more honest you are, the more you're going to suffer. The slower it's going to take for you to reach the top. The longer it's going to take for you to reach the top. Because see, the thing about it is, the reason why God allow you to go slow is so that you can reach the people that you need to reach before you get crucified. So Paul had some time before he met his demise. He was able to write 13 or 14 books of the Bible before he reached his demise. But see, had God just shot him out of a cannon to where he had all of this fanfare and he was the greatest, biggest celebrity ever known, he wouldn't have had the time to spread a grassroots message. And so that's why you see some people that they think it's them when they get a big platform audience, when they get a big platform, a big audience, they think it's them. They'll be like, yeah, it's my hustle, it's my grind, it's my tenacity, it's my this and that. It's like, no, you was chosen by Satan because he knows you're going to fumble the bag. He knows you're going to interview scammers, you're going to promote scammers. He knows that you're going to mislead millions of people. That's why he put you in position. He knows that you in fornication or adultery. So he knows you're going to ruin your name one day, just the same way MLK did all that work. Got a street in every city, got monuments, got all of this, and then boom, it come out. He having orgies, cheating on his wife, do all of that. So then people who respect themselves can no longer respect him. People who respect themselves, faithful husbands, wives who don't want to be cheated on, now have to look at MLK with a side eye. When you actually read the whole story and read the interviews of his friends and family, and you learn and you see their testimonies of how they knew what he was doing and what he was into, then you like, now you got a side eye. That's the goal of the devil. He want to have people in position who gonna look like and sound like they know what they talking about, who gonna look like and sound like they doing the right thing, only to get to a place where then he exposed them for immorality. He exposed them for cheating on their wife. He exposed them for cheating their own people intentionally. And so now all their work is disbelieved and it's upended. And so see, that's why you have to be okay being low and slow. That's why you got to be okay not being known. You got to be okay for it taking some time for you to get there. Got to take your time. And that's what's going to happen. Now that's what's on my docket. And now understand too, that's what leads into that daily, and y'all going to hear me talking about this over and over, that daily spiritual warfare. And it's going to be polarizing conversations that distract you from your movement and your purpose, or it discourage you from it. So you got to make sure that you stand on track and that whatever you do, you find purpose in it. Don't do anything just to be seen and to be heard. As soon as you seen and you heard, or you paid or whatever, Andrew Gillum was another one. You need to start a nonprofit and you need to start helping people. One of the boys in my program just was calling me. but I'm working, so I have to call them back. And so you have to think about that. So if you, and it could be in any industry, sports, media, fashion, science, technology, whatever it is, get your success. Use your gift. Let your gift open doors. Let your gift make you money. But then do something to be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ. Sponsor somebody. Scholarship. Some type of blessing. Do something to be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ. Speaking of, we raising a scholarship right now. It's only a $1,500 scholarship. Tony Gaston Academy, for a young man who exceptional behavior, exceptional spirit, and just went to college now. He going to Alabama, University of Alabama, worked hard, came through, tough times. We raising a scholarship just to help him. You put something in his pocket, get him a few supplies, help him with his whatever he got going on freshman year in Alabama and through the nonprofit. So thank y'all so much for your support, for your donations on there, because that's what we trying to do. And it touched my heart when a lady, I mentioned one of these ideas that I be giving y'all, and she wrote me and she said, Tony, we did it. And she sent me the link to the video of her going and buying those $6-7 pizzas from Little Caesars and going out to the homeless and handing out them pizzas. Then I got one of my clients who single, no kids under 18, and working 40 hours a week, but working on her dream as well. And let me make sure that's her site. Well, no, what's her site? Yep, there it go. Y'all visit my client's site. I'm gonna put it in this here thing. And then just bold too. Went out there, I don't even know if she had a man with her. But Gabby's Recipes. She in my year of coaching program, the 10K program, where we help launch a business, and this is her business that we launched. Went through the whole process, had to source, the manufacturer, the bottles, the stickers, everything like that. Go to Gabby's Recipes. Now what she did, her name is Gabriella, she also a life coach. And what she did is she liked to cook. She took and went down in her city. She lived in Maryland somewhere, and had cooked curry chicken, I think brown stew chicken, rice and peas, white rice, maybe some cabbage, and I can't remember, she had mac and cheese, and had the big plates. I had the big, the big silver pans, and pulled back that foil, let all the homeless people line up, and fed them. I don't know if it was against the law. Obviously it wasn't. She didn't get arrested. And she worked a regular job. She got her savings. Single, no kids under 18. And then this her business that she just started. And invested in herself to work with me as a consultant. But then as we doing the work, she went and did all of the work. Like she went and Tony, I'm over here talking to the manufacturer. I showed her how to do it. She talking to the manufacturer. Tony, I got my stuff. Hey, got my bottles. She from Trinidad and Tobago, so she not even from America. She I guess what you call a naturalized citizen, and over here winning, and that's what I try to tell you. And so yeah, Gabby Recipes is gonna take some time to get up there. Y'all, if the Lord bless you, go buy you some of that seasoning. I got the seasoning at the house. Good old seasoning. And so that's what you got to realize and understand. And that's what we taking, and you got to start building. And the reason why you got to start building, and you got to take And you got to identify, you're going to have to identify your gifts and your passions, because the reason why is because in 5 years, unless your job is a physical with your hand job, AI gonna be able to do your job in less than 5 years. And guess what? Them people is not gonna feel bad about firing you. So your gifts, your passions, you're gonna have to do that for a living if you lose your job until you find another job. But the thing what people don't realize is you can take and you can take and make more from your gifts and your passions than you can from working a job. It's the small business market. When you go down to the market, everybody needs somebody. So if you make shoes, I'm get my shoes from you. If you make shoelaces, I'm get my laces from you. If you make pants, I'm get my pants from you. If you make socks, get my socks from you. Get my shorts from you. Get my underwear from you. Get my t-shirt from you. Get my hairbrush from you. Get my skincare from you. Get my body wash from you. Get my shampoo and conditioner from you. Get my hats from you. Get my car from you. Get my this from you. Get my that from you. My silverware from you. This from you. My rugs from you. You see what I mean? My pillow from you. My bed from you. It's like, that's so many small businesses that have become big businesses. And that's what you got to realize, is you have to create something that you cannot be fired from. It may not always be consistent. You won't get the same paycheck every 2 weeks like the security of a job. But one thing you'll have security of is you'll be able to do it until you die. That's one thing about it. You'll be able to teach your kids how to do it. That's one thing about it. But as long as you're dependent upon the market and what the market doing, and here's what I noticed. People will buy me before they buy my product. Meaning, people will pay to talk to me one-on-one to get the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding that God has given me before they buy an online course, which is still me talking. And the online course, the all access membership, is $15 a month, $169 for the year. People will spend $250 to $500 to talk to me personally. So what that let me know is that you got to sell you. You got to sell your gifts, your passion, your purpose, what you do. And that right there, that can't go out of business. That can't go out of business. Because it's you. It's what you do. And guess what? It's hundreds of millions of people who need what you do. And that's what a lot of people don't realize and understand. They don't realize and understand that, y'all forgive me what I'm about to do. About to do something. Oh. We're raising funds for a flight for somebody, so paying attention. And I'll be donating my own personal money to the stuff I be working on. So y'all forgive me. So that's what I want you to think about. And I talk to so many people and they say, Tony, so to my group, to the personal branding class and the Entrepreneurship with Purpose class, I just shared my discounted link today for a one-on-one session, because I talked to so many people and they said, Tony, I don't have any gifts. Like, everybody got a gift. Like, I don't have any gifts. I don't have any talents. I don't have any passions. Everybody do. God don't make junk. So if you living and breathing, that means you could do something. It's something in you. You just can't see it because your brain, that part of your brain has been cut off by school. All the schooling, all the corporate training. You was trained by school with the start bell and the end bell, with the time between class, with the mess hall, the cafeteria, and the homework, the task, the study, the tests. You taking tests on stuff that you'll never use in your life. All that was training so that you can go into the industry and be industrialized. So now you know how to read your job manual. You know how to take the training, be trained, retain the information, and go and do your job for the billionaire that owns your company. And all of your natural gifts, everything that you did when you went home from school, outside of your homework, that's your millions right there. Everything you did on your own free time, that's your millions. But you've been trained and conditioned to go make somebody else millions and billions. That's why I wrote the quote, if you don't build your dream, someone will hire you to help them build theirs. And that quote went around the world. So what you have to realize is that you have to be able to look and see, what did I do when I was little? What was my outlet? What was my escape? What did I like to do? For me, it was writing. I was very quiet, so I was a poet. I was a writer. That's why now that I learned how to speak, I speak poetically, meaning without ums and ands and likes and you knows and rights. Even though I'm country, I'm able to flow in my speech because my original gift is writing. And because my gift is writing, I've written 18 books for myself. And then ghostwritten probably another 20 plus. And write people books for them. And guess what? I charge $10,000 to ghostwrite. My books, they earn money. Just got a royalty check last week from 2 of my books that's published by Simon & Schuster. And those royalties I will earn for the rest of my life, and then those royalties and them earnings will be passed down to my kids, and then it'll be passed down to my grandkids, then it'll be passed down to my great-grand. And if the Lord tarries with me and allow me to live to build my name bigger, then that's the more my book's gonna sell. But that gift was not taught to me. I had to learn how to read and write, but putting the words together. So see, you get 2 choices with school. School is mandatory for most people in most cases. So you can choose to use what you learned in school to work for somebody else or to work for God and yourself. And you could do both until one really takes off. But no matter what you do, you can't forget about you. So people say, oh, well, what if I want to be a doctor or a lawyer? If you want to be a doctor, you could start your own clinic. You could open your own practice. If you want to be a lawyer, you could open your own practice. So yeah, school is necessary. If I want to be a therapist, if I want to be a psychiatrist, whatever it is, school is necessary, but that don't mean you can't start your own. That don't mean you can't go now and write several books from the knowledge that you've learned from life and use that title that you earned from school to bring validity and credibility to the book that you done wrote. So you use man's certification to enhance what you naturally already do. So one day I might go get a master's and a doctorate to keep spitting the same spiel that the Lord done already gave me, just so I could break through them doors that is built by man but gonna be infiltrated by God. It's built by man, and so they want man's certification. For them, they don't recognize God's certification. But in being wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, if God say, hey, go get man's certification to make him think he did something, but I'm going to get you in that door, and then I'm going to use you, and they going to realize that what you doing, what you saying, how you showing up is far beyond what man could ever teach you. And I'm going to get the glory for it. That's what the Lord telling you. And so, yeah, you got to play the game sometimes. But guess what? God will also use you without man's certification. He'll use you without man's validation. He'll do that. I became the first life coach to be put on retainer by an NBA team, and they fired the sports psychologist. Now, if anybody is a psychologist, they know how much time, energy, effort, and money it took to become a doctor of psychology, to be fired and replaced by a poor, dumb, and country life coach who doesn't have a college degree, but was certified by God. Do you know what that man probably felt like when he found out that he was replaced by a black man from the South who is country and don't have a college degree? He probably took that degree off the wall and dusted roll elbow. He probably, what the world? He probably got him a bottle of whiskey. What the world? I can't believe this. I got so many therapists coming to take my life coach certification course. So many therapists coming to me to say, how do I build a brand? I went to school and learned how to be a therapist. How did you build a brand? How do you make $1 million plus a year and you ain't got 10% of my education? I don't work for the board. I don't work for the state. I don't work for the schoolhouse. I work for the Lord. I don't put my pride behind my degree. I don't put pride in a degree. I don't put pride in something that man created and put as a barrier for me to be stamped and certified by man. I say, Lord, if it's meant to be, I'm going to lean on you. And anything else added unto that, that's your icing on the cake. But God already baked the cake for you. You really don't. He got the icing for you too, and the cherry on top, if that's what he tell you to do. Now, everybody ain't going to have the same mission. So it's not to knock school or knock a degree, because that might be what the Lord tell you to go do and get. I'm about to work on my degree. But you know why? So that I can then go do what I already know how to do for a university, for a sports team. So then I could go to a place of higher education and teach these college students my Entrepreneurship with Purpose class. Go to a place of higher education and teach them what I learned from lower education. And they're going to be like, learned all this, did all this before I had a degree. You got to know who you are first. And so, see, in these times, you're going to have to draw closer to God. You're going to have to be recognizing and aware of the spiritual warfare. And you're going to have to pay attention. And you're going to have to make sure that you're not getting too caught up and too distracted by the other stuff that's out here moving around. And you're going to have to be locked in. And it's time that you're going to have to invest in you. And I tell y'all the story all the time of where I took my account, had $100 in it, went to a conference the conference cost me $300. I had $100 left. A man got on stage. He was teaching a lesson. I liked what he was saying. He had a course for $1,000. Went to the back of the room. You had to fill out a piece of paper to get the course. I say, hey, don't charge me till Monday now. I was hoping to have some money in there by Monday. Still ain't have no money by Monday. He showed charged that card. But it was a business account, so the bank let it go through. Because I hadn't done several thousands through that bank. So the bank let that account go through. I was already on the course. I was going through the course. I ain't even finished the course. I got enough of what I needed. I used what I learned from that course and shared that with a client. The client took and booked me for a whole year of coaching. So my $1,000 was turned into $14,000. And then my client who took and booked me went on to make $500,000. Client took what I taught him, took and put it in his coaching business, and then went, because his circle was different, had clients paying him $40,000 for a year, $80,000 for a year, $200,000 plus for a year of executive corporate coaching. And guess what? He didn't have a college degree either. So had what God gave him, I had what God gave me. I invested in another man, he invested in me, and it all came back full circle. So that's what a thing is. A lot of time people want to get a withdrawal from their gifts, but ain't made a deposit into their gifts. And then wonder, and then get mad with Tabitha Brown when she say, you've been at the entrepreneurship forever and you've been robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you got great ideas, but you got poor execution. And we'll get mad with that, and it's because we don't want to make a deposit. We just want to make a withdrawal. And so that's what you got to realize. You're in this season. What we're going to have to do. You're going to have to realize it. And so, yeah, and that's the thing right there too, Bree. We're going to have to take the limits off. And I'm going to tell you, the devil's strong now. And a lot of people don't want to acknowledge that. And they'll just say, oh, yeah, the devil ain't got no power. The devil ain't got no power, and they ain't producing nothing. Not realize they under his thumb. So it's like you got to recognize it so you could defeat it. You got to recognize that the devil is crafty, that he do be conniving. And that's that voice. That's that voice that you hear that says, who are you? That's that voice that you hear that says, what you doing? That's that voice that you hear that says, who want to listen to you? Who gonna buy from you? Don't post that because your cousin's gonna be laughing at you. Your ex gonna be laughing at you. Don't post because the people who follow it gonna think you stupid. They gonna think you look stupid. You look dumb. They gonna be over there talking about how you trying too hard. They're gonna be making fun of you. That's the devil right there. The same devil that you not rebuking and casting out. That you afraid to say, oh yeah, I know he crafty. I know he around here conniving. But I'm finna go anyways. And it be the people without any inhibition. It be the people without anything to lose. You know, it's a guy who he got a podcast, but he did, I think, 20 years in prison, 10 or 20 years in prison. It's a couple guys that have done 10 or 20 years in prison, and now they podcasters, and they are either hundreds thousand hours or millionaires. But see, the thing about it is, what people don't realize, people will look and say, well, man, how they came out of prison and they doing this, they lapping me, they doing better than me. The reason why is because when they sat down, they realized sitting in prison that they ain't got nothing to fear. They ain't got nothing to lose. Once you know what that feel like, to have no opportunity, to be sitting there staring at a wall, and you don't know what day it's gonna be, to where you might get stabbed or you might get shanked or something like that. Hey, baby, look good like the outfit. Like, you might get stabbed or shanked. And y'all look here now. Sheree Sips Coffee Shop, established 2022. So when I have the money, when my wife bring me one of these coffees, when I have the money, I go on my Cash App and buy $5 worth of Starbucks stock, because I saved the $5 or $7 I would have spent at Starbucks. I saved it, so I go and buy the seen that little hack on, what's it called? Seen that little hack. So yeah, y'all give me a little second here. A little bit of that coffee in my spirit. Y'all forgive me. Now I don't like to drink on the camera, so I had to cut my camera off. So I want y'all to think about this. And so guess what? YouTube, that's my new job. The Lord say, hey, when you ain't got to coach all day, then get on here and get a plan out. Get a plan out so the people could activate. Because see, the thing about it is, we need motivation. We need motivation. I ain't got nobody to motivate me. I'm going to tell you what motivate me. The people on my bike. I got people on my bike. That's what motivate me. Wow, somebody just booked a session for January 2026. My goodness. All right. Well, y'all, I could officially say I'm booked into 2026. Somebody just booked a session. My goodness. Sister L says you want to have everything in order before we talk. Sister, let me help you out now. Let me help you along the way. Sister says she want to have everything on the ground running. So listen to me. It's time to get it on in order. And you're gonna have to make that sacrifice, believe in yourself, and get out there, make something happen. And pay attention now to the stuff you see online, but you got to be able to see it through spiritual lenses. And you got to understand the spiritual warfare. You got to pray for wisdom, pray for knowledge, pray for understanding, pray for discernment, so you can see what's going on, because it's going to be a lesson in everything now. It's going to be a lesson in everything. Carlotta, you say you should have sent something instead. Oh, God bless you. I'm about to say, I ain't see nothing what you sent there. God bless you. Carlotta set us off right. And so now, y'all, let me tell y'all something. When I used to do these lives in the pandemic, Them super chats or whatever they call. Them things used to be. I wish I was money hungry. If I knew better, I would have went live every day. If I knew better, I was going live once every 2 weeks. But when I got on there, people just sending a little super chat. But I didn't think about it. I didn't think about the fact that, oh, it's a lot of stimulus checks going on. Oh, it's a lot of bonus checks going on in people's company because it's more money being made. Oh, I ain't thinking about it. I wish I was money hungry. I missed the season. I missed the harvest. Sure missed the harvest. I say, Lord, because now, listen, we ain't got it now. We ain't got it to give now. Carlotta the only one. We ain't got it. And guess what? That's why I don't ask for it. I don't ask for it. Because I already know. They said 70% of Americans can't touch $1,000. I bet it's 90. I bet it's 90%. Because I might need to check my account and see where it's at. Because I'm like, Lord, you bill collector calling me. I'm like, hey. I remember one time the bill collector called me, sir, is you gonna get them people their money or what? I say, sir, you act like the money coming to you. I'm like, man, Negro. I could tell he was a Negro. I'm like, Negro, don't be on my phone hollering for these people. I'm like, man, I ain't got the money. Like, what you on here hollering at me like that about a student loan? I'm like, did you loan a student? I'm like, sir, you act like this student loan money coming to you. I'm like, what the world? I mean, the man got loud. I say, now, if this man will work this hard for himself, this man will be a millionaire. He's sitting in the sweat booth calling me for Sally Mae. And a brother, sir, is you gonna get these people their money or what? I say, sir, is this a recorded line? I say, what the world Sally Mae is in O Block, hiring people off of O Block. I say, I bet what it is. He used to sell dope and tried to change his life. And this call center kicking his behind. And he get a commission for the payments that he get. And he is calling us and we ain't giving him a dime. I say, sir, y'all will get it when I get it. I eventually paid off the Sally Mae. But I said, sir, you'll get it when I get it. Calling me doing all this hollering. What's wrong with you? Better get back out there and sell that dope. I'm like, not if you finna call me with this kind of vitriol. So listen, you don't have nothing to lose. If you paycheck to paycheck on your job, you ain't got nothing to lose to bet on yourself. You ain't got nothing to lose. Just don't lose no money. Get the knowledge before you go. Get the knowledge before you go. I have clients who come in here that I met along the way. One person I met speaking to their college basketball team. Another person I met speaking for the NBA. And another person I met through my son's soccer. And they'll get to come in my office and talk to me and get a whole game plan. And then go out and make hundreds of thousands. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. And I'm just like, boy, look here. Y'all forgive me, let me hit this here coffee. They go out here and make tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. And then at the same time too though, I have people come to me. Give me 1 second. I have people come to me and they'll say, Tony, I wanna do this right here in business, do this right there in business. But I can't afford you because I hired a business coach for $5,000. Or I done had somebody tell me they hired a business coach for $50,000. Somebody told me they hired a business coach for $20,000. Somebody told me they took a life coach certification for $12,000. Somebody told me they hired another ghostwriter for $10,000. And then I say, well, so how long you been following me online? 5 years. So what the world made you go hire somebody else when you already see I already know how to do that? But now you coming to me and you want a homeboy hookup because I'm country. Oh dude. I'm gonna have to charge you double now. For the disrespect. You have to pay toll road now. Cause you tried me like a baser. You see me sitting over here doing that right there, and you go somebody else. You see my life coach course $1,200. You went and spent $12,000, and now you coming and asking me for the blueprint how to be a successful life coach after you spent $12,000. You could have gave me that $12,000. I'll let you move in with me for a week and learn. You can stay right here on the couch. And so invest, go ahead and launch your business, but just do it the right way. And I'm going to tell you something. You got to be hand to hand. A lot of people not hand to hand. And a lot of people come and tell me how to market this. I'm going to tell y'all. When I wrote my first book, I went to the club promoter, to the flyers, where they print the flyers. And I did 2,500 business cards. It had double-sided. And I went to the mall. Went in the mall, hand that business card out to everybody in the mall. Security, sir, you can't be in here. Sir, you can't be in here handing that out. I say, oh, okay. Went outside to the parking lot. Everybody going to their car, hand it to them. Went to every car, put my business card right in their door with my book on it. It ain't sell no books, but I did it. Then went on MySpace and added 400 people a day. Every day, I add 400 people. Went on Facebook, add 100 to 200 people a day till it shut me off and say you can't add no more people. Got a letter or email from Facebook say we've been notified that you are befriending a lot of people that you don't know. I'm like, is it a crime to make a new friend? What the world? What the world, Mark? Just cause you're antisocial behind. Like, what's the point of the book? I'm trying to make new friends. I'm Tony Gaskins, the author of What Daddy Never Told His Little Girl. Nice to meet you. Buy this book. I was adding 200 people a day on Facebook, 400 people a day. Cause see, Tom, he wasn't no crab like Mark. So Tom ain't care how many people you add on MySpace. 400 people a day on MySpace. I sit there, I'm tired. I sit there and see people don't understand. That's why I wear this shirt. I made these shirts for myself. I ain't even sold y'all this shirt. I made it for myself. I wear 12 of them and I wear one every day. See, people don't understand what it looked like now. And then when I got on Twitter, I posted 17 original quotes every day. You got to use your gift at a high clip. 17 original quotes. All the greatest speakers in America and some outside of America have used one of my quotes in their speech, unbeknownst to who authored that quote. Because I was writing, because when I had never read a book other than the Holy Bible. So I would post a quote from my spirit, what I was feeling on my spirit, whatever life had just taught me. 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. 8:30, 9:30. Then at 10 o'clock, I send a tweet sermon. So 10, 10:05, 10:10, 10:15, 10:20, 10:25, 10:30, I'll tweet drop mic. And I do have the sweaters, the consistent sweater, but I just got big sizes right now. There's some, it'll be too big for you, Vanessa. I think I just got 2X. I got small. I might have small and 2X. And I tweet drop mic, and I would get 150 to 500 new followers a day on Twitter. And then the next day, I would click on followers, and I would scroll all the way down to the last person that I remembered their face. I remember faces. I'm good with faces, not with names. I would scroll all the way down to the last person that I remember from yesterday on Twitter, and I would click message, and I would DM them. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. If I can help you in any way, please send me an email, Tony@TonyGaston.com. And it used to be TonyGastonJr@gmail.com. And I will do that to all 150 people. Sometimes it'll be 200 people. Sometimes it'll be 300 people. Sometimes it'll be 400 people. See, people don't understand grind. People don't understand what hard work really look like. So when they look and they see and they say, oh man, you done built this brand, you got 3.5 million people. Look, it was daily consistency, showing up every day. And I write those people, and that's how I built my network. When I email them, when I DM them, that's how I became a speaker for the NBA from them DMs. And then on top of DMing all 150 to 400 people, I then would take and everybody I saw retweet me twice, I would DM them. I told y'all this the other day, but there's other people on here today, so I'm telling the story again. And then I went from there to posting 2 quotes a day on Facebook. Then I went from 2 quote pictures a day to 4 quote pictures a day. And then I went from there to Instagram and posted 2 quote pictures a day, and then went to 4 quote pictures a day until I built my Instagram to where I wanted to be. And then I came to YouTube and started doing 3 videos a week, then 5 videos a week, then 7 videos a week. Then some weeks I do 10 videos, some weeks I do 14 videos. So people don't understand what hard work look like. They'll just look and see the fruit. They'll come and, oh, see this, see that, see this, see that, see that, and don't realize, like, no, I show up on here every day. Like every day. I miss some days, 2-3 days. If I'm traveling, I'm working in real life on the road, but then I come back and make up for it, and you'll see 2-3 videos in a day from me. And this the network right here that I like the most, because they honor they creators. Now TikTok is like that, but TikTok too childish for me. But when I get bored with YouTube, I'm gonna go over to TikTok, and then I'm finna build and dominate TikTok. And you're gonna watch it, and you're gonna say Tony said he was gonna do that. I just have to want to do it. I just gotta want to do it. But I could go over there and do it now, because I done went over there and I ain't even tried and got over 80,000 followers over there. And I don't even post. I might post once a week on TikTok. But I could sit down when I get ready and create a TikTok strategy, and I go over there and dominate TikTok. And so the thing about it is you just got to be willing to grind. You just got to be willing to work. And you got to know your unique, what they call your unique selling point. You got to know who you are. Because see, it's something about you that's different from everybody else. And that's what you got to realize. What is it about you that's different from everybody else? See, I used to try to talk proper. I say, you know what? My country accent, which is not that country, is what made me different from the guys who try to talk proper or who talk proper. So, and I realized, like, you know what? My comfortability of not having a custom thumbnail, not having an intro video, not having an outro video, not having theme music, not having none of the editing, none of the fanciness going on, that's what made me different. So that while the other things might get more subscribers, it don't actually make more money on the YouTube. Don't actually make more money. I talk to people who got 2, 3, 4 times, 5 times more subscribers than I got, and they make 10% of what I make, because I did it based on my personality. And when you come on YouTube, conventional wisdom says just do videos that are 3 minutes to 7 minutes. Then YouTube took and threw the monkey wrench in that and said, we're not giving you mid-roll ads unless your video is 8 minutes and 1 second. So now you got to be able to do 8 minutes. And then guess what? People came to me, this company came to me, and they represent a lot of celebrities. And there's a thing on YouTube called CPM. And then now they done created RPM. And the CPM is cost per mil. It means cost per 1,000. And essentially what it means is what you are paid for every 1,000 monetized views. So they say the average on YouTube is $1 to $2. So the company that represent, I think at that time they represent people big as like The Rock, and they run they YouTube channels and stuff. They run their channel. They came to me and they said, or they had it in their network, and he said, yeah, we like to, we represent 800 celebrities or something like that, and we'd like to represent your page, run your page. I say, well, how much you think my page make? I said, what you think my CPM is? How much you think my page make? He said, probably $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And he said your CPM probably $1 to $2. And then I sent him and so he was like, we'll help you grow, help you build it. I said, oh, okay. I said, if it was doing real good, if the page was doing real good, what you'll say the CPM is? He said, if it was really good, your CPM would be like $7 to $10. I said, okay, all right. He didn't realize he was canceling himself out of business. I said, well, my CPM is $25. I'm on the phone with the man. He said, there's no way. He said, that's impossible. He said, that's impossible. He said, I would need to see a screenshot of that. I logged in and gave him a screenshot, sent it to him. He said, what in the world? He said, I done talked to so many people. He said, I ain't never seen nothing like this. See, when you work for God, things look different. And that was just on the average, but what it was because of demographic, watch time, and length of the videos. And so the average watch time on YouTube might be 30 seconds because people just scrolling. My average watch time is 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes because I started focusing on hour-long content. So people be like, oh, it's a bunch of advertisements. And I say, okay, you in the welfare line because you expect something for nothing. Because if you coming to get free entertainment, education, inspiration, and you ain't got to pay for it, why is you complaining about an advertisement? How you think people gonna get paid? How you think YouTube gonna keep their lights on? What I would be considered a deadbeat if I'm coming on here for hours and I'm not making no money to take home to my wife. That would qualify me as a deadbeat man. Just like when a man go get on the video game for 4 hours and he not in no tournaments making no money, the woman be fed up because that's 4 hours that he could have been making some money. So it's like, that's why I stopped caring about that. It say, Tony, you want advertisement on your video? Yes, I do. To the max. I want them to the max. Because I'm not worried about who finna complain. That ain't kind of people I want. If they finna try to knock me and my time and how I'm feeding my family, I said, no, that's one of my streams of income. And that's why I try to tell people, like, but see, the thing about it is you got to get close enough to God to be far enough from the devil. If you ain't close enough from God to God, you ain't gonna be far enough from the devil. And if you're not far enough from the devil, then what you're gonna hear is, all you're gonna be hearing is, don't nobody want to listen to you. Don't nobody want to see your video. You don't know what you talking about. Why somebody gonna listen to you? Who is you? Why somebody gonna listen to you? Who is you? Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna emulate people who don't work for God because they look successful. But if you ain't ready to sell your soul to the devil, you ain't gonna have their success. Because they work for the devil and they selling their soul for the devil, and that's why they all die early. They die early, they die young, because they sell their soul to the devil. You notice the people who work for the devil and they push an agenda or a movement that is contrary to the word of God, they don't last long. Even if they living, they don't last long in business. They don't last long. Got to realize that. Y'all got to forgive him. I'm over here on Cherie Silks. Now, one day when the Lord blessed me with the money, I'm going to open a coffee shop. And it's going to be called Cherie Silks. And I'm going to show up when the building already is purchased. I already paid first and last month rent. And I already got the bank account with the money sitting in there for the build out and for the decoration. Because if I tell her before, she'll be like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. No. Finna do my internet cafe. Lyrics, I don't edit screenplays. But if you mean grammar and punctuation, then yes, I got people that could help you with that. But if you mean like story and character development and all of that, I could find somebody for you. But it's also not really necessary to edit it. Because if you're gonna produce it yourself, then you're gonna have your finger on it. And I don't recommend sending it to Hollywood if you don't got a top agent that's gonna work with you and walk you through it, because that will mess you up. So understand that right there. Y'all forgive me. So understand right there. But hey, God bless y'all. My wife at practice right now, so I was able to get me a little free time. But I this thing be, and we are in the, thank you there, Chavis. We are in the 21-day transformation on Tony Gasson's Academy. So I've been releasing those videos daily, and we only on the course day 9 today, and so we on that right there. And then also we got the Kickstarter. It is in the the description box, because we doing the film. And so thank y'all for the support on that. We're raising $11,700. And I'm going to tell y'all, I don't like Kickstarters. I don't like GoFundMes. I always be hating on that stuff. And now I realize what the Lord say about judge not, so that you be not judged. Because I used to judge people with a Kickstarter. But now in this here recession, I had to start me one. I say, cause boy, listen here, I ain't got that 11,000 for y'all film. I say, man, listen, y'all wanna get this film out the ground? Listen, I'm about to do a Kickstarter. I'm about to go to the Blessed Tribe. So now I learned I'm gonna have to hush my mouth. And that's what people get wrong. I heard a guy on the radio ask, it was on the thing, and it was Charlemagne asking. He say the Bible say thou shalt not judge, and the Bible don't say thou shalt not judge. But he say the Bible say thou shalt not judge, but it just seemed like all y'all be doing is judging. He talking about Christian. And then the artist that was on there named Miles Minnick, and he talking about, he don't judge. He ain't judging. And that's what people get confused is we can't judge nobody. All we could do is warn them. And y'all hear me say that over and over, because we got to stop letting the devil make us tuck our tail in our legs, between our legs, in the name of don't judge. We ain't judging you. All we doing is warning you that you're going to bust hell wide open if you don't get your life together. God is your judge, and he going to sentence you to eternity in hell if you don't listen to his children that was trying to warn you while you was on earth acting a slap fool. So understand that right there, and y'all stop being scared to speak truth. Stop being scared to walk in the boldness of Christ, bold as a lion, like what scripture Uncle Reese had me recite on his track called Bold on his album, Bold as a lion. Don't stop being afraid to be bold as a lion in your belief system, because the world telling you, oh, you judging. We're not judging. We warning. We warning before that trumpet sound. So don't get it twisted, because you want to live in your sin, and you want to get comfortable in your sin. And then, Miles Minnick talking about, he ain't judging. It's like, no, you got to speak truth to power. You got to go and tell the truth. Stop trying to be watered down, trying to fit in. I say, right, Chavis, you right. I say he done took and done bit the apple. Old Miles Minnick. I don't listen to his music, but I done heard his name before. I say he done bit the apple, trying to be accepted by the world. Him and Lecrae. It's like, boy, we got to do better. And see, that's the thing. It's like God is no longer finna be calling quote unquote lames. And I don't say that in a derogatory term. But if you care about the opinion of man, that make you a lame. If you care about what somebody think about you more than what God think about you, that make you a lame. I mean, you ain't got no spiritual legs to stand on, and that's lame. And God is not raising up lames. Every single person that acquiesced to the world was not called by God. Because when you call by God, you're going to experience God in such a way that you'll never be able to turn your back. You'll never be able to turn your back. You'll never be able to walk away. God bless you, Cherie or Sherry. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. Do you think if you have a book that will upset X political level should be ghostwritten? I don't know if you wrote that the right way. I don't know what X political level means. But now also understand, you ghostwriting is still in your name. It just, you could have a pen name where you could still write it and just put it under the name like Jane Doe. And so understand that right there. Oh, okay. You say example. Does that mean example? Yeah. Just use a pen name if you want to. And I thought about writing me a fiction book under a pen name and telling my life story. Because as I went to listening to my life story, I'm like, boy, I can't believe this. I said, boy, this don't even sound real. I said, boy, I can't never write this. I say, but boy, if people could read this though, boy, they'll really be. But then if they think it's fiction, they ain't gonna think it's real. So I might have to just write it and just say, hey, publish it when I'm dead now. So I can't, hey, publish it when I'm dead. So I say, boy, God done been good. And Manoni, God bless you. I don't know how many moderators we got on here today. But hey, y'all, God bless you. The spirit done left the room. I don't feel him no more. So I'm finna go and get on up out of here. Because I'm not speaking from myself. God bless y'all. Keep your head up. All the important links is in the description. And we'll talk soon. Let me see here.